If you don't know what Inktober is, or you're new, or this is your first time, let me give you a brief introduction. Inktober was an art challenge created in 2014 by author and illustrator Jake Parker. Originally, he just created the challenge for himself to hone in on his inking skills, but as he released it to the public, it quickly gained popularity, and now there are millions of amazing artists participating in the challenge every single year. But this video is not about the history of Inktober. I'll leave a link to Jake Parker's video explaining Inktober better than I could. So let's jump straight into what you need to know about Inktober. Number 1, you need to plan ahead for Inktober. I spent so many years trying to do Inktober without planning ahead, just jumping straight into it, and it always failed. It didn't go very well. So I recommend planning ahead. Plan what you're going to draw. I recommend printing out the Inktober prompt list from their website, putting it on a bulletin board somewhere, and going through your sketchbook and writing down each prompt and what you are going to draw for that prompt each day. You can even do little thumbnail sketches of the prompt describing what you're going to draw. The second part of planning ahead is time management. Try to schedule out what times of day you're going to be able to do the prompt. If you know ahead of time that you're not going to be able to do the prompt until later in the day, I recommend starting a day early so that you can post your art early, so that you can get feedback and critiques and encouragement from the art community on Instagram and other social media. The second thing you need to know is that you should try to simplify Inktober as much as you can for yourself. Choose one tool, choose one theme, choose one skill to hone in on. The more simple you can make this challenge, the more it's going to benefit you and save your brain. If you're going to choose one tool, you could choose a dip pen, you could choose a brush pen, you could use a Bic ballpoint pen. It doesn't matter. Just choose 1 to 2 tools and get really, really good at using that tool. You can use more than one tool. If the decision making of choosing what tool to use begins to get overwhelming and take away from your energy of how to ink and how to get better at inking, then it might mean that you need to dial it back, limit yourself to 1 or 2 tools. The second part of simplifying is choose one theme. You could draw anything you wanted to from those 31 prompts, but I challenge you to limit yourself to one theme. I've seen people do just all Batman illustrations for all 31 days. That's a great example of simplifying your theme. Try to make it so that you can't draw anything in the world based off of that prompt. If there's a story that you've been working on, do character art for that. Or if you just want to draw cars, draw 31 different cars. If you want to try someone else's style like Mike Mignola or Jake Parker or Anthony Wheeler or Derek Loftman, do that. But the more you can simplify what kind of theme and style that you're going to use throughout Inktober, the better. It will take more energy away from what you're going to draw and put more energy into skillfully practicing how to ink. It gives extra decision-making power towards how you're going to ink your subject matter. The third part of simplifying is choose one skill. Yes, you are already practicing how to ink, but you will naturally get better at inking as you just use ink for all 31 days. But if you can choose a second skill to hone into while you are doing Inktober, like composition or anatomy or environments or shading or perspective, the more intentional you can be with your practice throughout this challenge, the more you are going to take away from it. The third thing you should know is you need to manage your time. Going into this challenge, a lot of people forget how much time they can put into Inktober. Set a time limit for yourself. You have to be realistic with the amount of time you can spend each day on Inktober. If you spent 2 hours a day for every prompt of Inktober, you would lose 14 hours a week. That is an entire day of your week. It's time well spent, but most people can't put that kind of time towards an art challenge. This challenge is not meant to consume your entire month of October. Don't try to do 2 prompts in one day. It can be tempting if you miss a day to try and catch up and post 2 prompts in one day, or to draw 2 prompts in one day. It would be better to put out one intentionally practiced ink drawing and miss one day than try to get out 2 ink drawings that you didn't learn anything from. The third part of time management is that you can start now. The Inktober prompt list is out right now. I recommend you go and look it up. Start drawing out what you're going to do. If not, do the prompts now so that when it comes to the challenge, if you miss a day or two, you have time to catch up. Number 4, tools and materials. If you can, I would recommend getting a sketchbook just for Inktober. This way you won't get distracted by whatever else is in your sketchbook. I recommend going through each page, writing the prompt and the prompt number, so that when it comes to the challenge, you don't have to go on Instagram and find the prompt list and potentially get sucked down a rabbit hole. The next thing is choose what type of tool you're going to use, because depending on the type of inking tool you're going to use, you might need other materials that go with it. If you're going to use a dip pen with a metal nib, you might need tougher paper so that you don't tear through your paper while you're drawing. If you are going to use water-soluble ink, then you might need watercolor paper so that it doesn't soak through the paper. Just make sure that you have all of the materials you need for the Inktober before you have to do the challenge, so that you're not rushing to get new materials in the middle of the month. The third part about tools and materials is that references are a big part of that. You don't want to be spending hours scrolling through Pinterest trying to find the reference you need the day of. That could add up to an extra hour spent on each drawing. So go through Inktober, make an entire separate Pinterest board for all of your references for each prompt of Inktober. Try to have those ready so that when you come to the prompt, you have your reference ready to go and you can just sit down and draw. The fifth and final thing that you need to know are just some practical daily tips. 1. Do a prompt the day before Inktober starts. Try to get a day ahead or a day early of the prompt list so that you can post early on social media, so that you can get feedback and critiques and interact with the Inktober community. It's pretty rare that a group of artists like this are all gathered in one place online where you can find them and they're all ready to interact and give feedback and encourage each other. That's a super valuable thing. So I recommend getting your art out as early in the day as you can so that there's time to interact with this audience. Don't hold yourself to the internet standards. You are going to scroll through the hashtags and you are going to feel bad about your art. No matter who you are, I feel like there is always someone out there who is better at inking, who is better at art, who has a better piece that day than you do. But that's okay. We're all doing this challenge to get better, not to be perfect. So don't be discouraged by all of the amazing art that's going to be out there this year. Just keep track of what you set out to accomplish through this challenge. Focus on that skill that you're trying to hone in on and just try to get better. That's what this challenge is all about. And finally, relax. This is an art challenge. It's supposed to be fun. So don't get caught up on getting a drawing out every single day. If you can't get out all 31 drawings, that's okay. Choose a tool that you are going to enjoy using. Choose prompts and references and styles that you are going to enjoy drawing. Otherwise, you're not going to stick with something that you don't enjoy. So enjoy this challenge, make the most of it, try to learn a lot, try to participate with the community, and just have fun. I'll be posting my art on Instagram and occasionally on YouTube as well. I hope you guys will follow that and see my progress through the challenges that I'm going to be doing for myself. And I can't wait to see all of your art. Please tag me in your art. I would love to see all of the amazing art created this year. I hope this video helps you guys. I'm so excited for this year. If this video helped you at all prepare for Inktober, I would really appreciate it if you liked this video. I wish you guys the best of luck this year, and I'll see you out there.